Yeah, I'll suffer through the, so. Suffer through the.
And now that hit with the allergy bus. Yeah. Like something wrong there or something, but.
Well, they were here the last time.
Maybe it was an allergy. Haven't got it. So, yeah. Evening and welcome to the City of Kingston Planning Board meeting. Today is March 16th, 2026. My name is Suzanne Cahill. I'm the Planning Director for the City of Kingston. Before we start the meeting, I just want to go through a few quick announcements. If you have a cell phone, I'm just going to ask that you please put it on silent so that it does not interfere with the meeting. If we have an emergency, we just ask that you please use the stairs and not the elevator. If you need assistance, ask and we will help. I want everybody to know that this meeting is being live streamed and being recorded, so please respect that. If you have any conversations that are not with the planning board itself, we just ask that you please take them outside of the room. The council chambers and conference room 2 are available. The bathrooms are through the council chambers, and men's is to the left and women's to the right. And with that, I'm going to open the meeting at 6:03 p.m. and turn it over to Chairman Platt to introduce other members and staff.
Okay, thank you, Suzanne. All right, as Sue mentioned, with introductions, my name is Wayne Platt. I'm the chairman. We also have members Charles Palaco, Matt Gillis, Vince Archer, Andrew Harris, and Kyra Grundig. You've met Suzanne Cahill already, the city planner, the planning director. Kyla D-Day is the assistant planner, and we also have Alderman Ruth Katz, who's the common council liaison to the planning board. Let's see here. Item number 1, is the adoption of the February 17th, 2026 planning board meeting minutes. Everybody's had an opportunity to take a look at that. Any deletions, additions, corrections? Seeing none, I will make a motion that we adopt those minutes. Do I have a second? Second by Andrew Harris. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Andrew, you are Kara, your seat here, right? Andrew, you're sitting here. Okay, so you're sitting in the other seat.
We're going to skip to number 3.
Yes, just recognize that they are here right now.
Yeah.
Jump to.
Yeah, for old business, item number 2, 485 Broadway, the applicant is not here at this time, so they show we will get back to them. We're going to jump ahead to new business. It was item number 3, 84 Fairmont Avenue, site plan to convert an existing basement storage space to an additional 1-bedroom unit and waivers from required submission. Section block and lot 56.22-6-16. Secret determination, transect zone SD-NF Ward 1. Stephen Bernie Goldman is the applicant. Arena Fairmont Estates LLC is the owner. Hello there.
Hello,
State your name for the record, please.
John Steinmeier.
All right. Well, I didn't even know that these folks acquired this complex. That's
I just found out a little while ago.
All right. I used to live there. I used to live there a long time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. All right. How we do? Good. All right. We got some pictures behind you there. Fire away there. Area. What do you got going on?
So this is a kind of an underutilized space. It's kind of a vacant or storage space, not very well used in the lower level of one of the units that we're going to convert to a single bedroom dwelling unit.
So there are other, basement units in this complex or?
There are other basement units in the complex, not in this particular building. The rest of the building is a crawl space.
Okay,
So there's no other opportunity for more units in this particular building.
okay. And so storage that the space was being used for is just gonna be accommodated in?
Yeah, there's like other shop space, like
Okay.
for maintenance stuff. There's a whole area that's a shop. So it's really not necessary
Okay.
space for storage.
So just, because it's a rear access, how do you think that the numbering, like the unit numbering, or just the emergency response, how are they gonna, or mail receptacle? How do you think that's gonna,
I probably would have to, get something, because I think zero something to a lower level, because there's no other lower level units, so.
okay,
There's basically right now, all of the in the complex to the cul-de-sac, they all follow Fairmont Avenue address.
Correct.
Right? Miller,
Correct,
follow Miller.
And they're all like street level entrances, so. There is a path down to this, and down in between two buildings and around to the bottom, so there's an at-grade entrance.
Yeah,
You have a picture of that at-grade entrance.
so it may wind up being apartment C. And
Yeah.
give it a number.
Right.
rear, whatever,
Rear.
I guess 9/11 would probably, Ulster County Emergency, you probably would want some kind of input
Mhm.
on how it's identified, just so that.
Right.
Oh, is there water and sewer already to this location?
There is water and sewer.
Are there any other mechanicals, or is it just for this one unit that are located in there?
The sewer line is underneath the slab right now.
Right.
So we'll have to, dig a section of that up and cut into it and connect it to it, to move out. So the sewer line's already there, where else is there already place and that feed the building.
Now, is there anything else like HVAC or anything else that would serve this in sewer?
There's a central heating system, central hot water boilers, so we're just gonna tap in, so the heating is paid by the landlord,
Okay,
so just tap in.
and where are the boilers? They're not here.
They're not, they're actually at the far end of far end of there's 10 units in this building, so at the far end of the unit.
Okay.
And the existing windows are big enough that they meet.
No, we're proposing, like the bedroom has to have an egress window, so we're
Yeah.
proposing one of these, a larger window. And then it has to meet certain requirements for the building code for egress. We'll have to build one of those little bulkheads on the outside. That's in the architectural plans. The backside is at grade, but the front side of the unit is 6 feet below grade. Yeah, so.
And you probably had consultation with building safety already about this, right?
We have not.
Oh, you haven't?
No, we haven't submitted the plan to them.
Okay.
If we submit to them, they're just gonna kick it back to you guys.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if there's, do you think they're gonna need to do anything like, extraordinary? Are they gonna require sprinkling this, I don't know.
They should, based on it, it's an existing building and we're less than 50% of the work area for the total building, so it should not be required.
Because then the rest of the building's not sprinkled.
It's not, no. Not.
What does the additional unit add to the total number of units?
I think there's 10 now, so this would be 11.
And I see there's, the payment will park plan fee that's attached to this one, you know that they.
Yes. Yeah.
Picture that is the.
The layout.
Of the space, was so like an existing, or you guys can pull it up on your computers too, but
Yes.
the share.
I think I put them in the notes too. Nice, it has some natural light.
Yeah, that's some, yeah. The
So you're
egress
just gonna
window will add
frame
on,
out-
and they're fairly large.
So you'll frame out over the walls.
Yeah, it'll be framed, it's fully insulated, yeah.
Are there any, are there floor drains in this space now or anything like that? Okay,
There's no.
it's just a slab then.
Correct.
And do you know if there's a current Knox box on the building right now?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I presume that there is, but I don't know that for a
I
fact.
mean, there may not be on this one, yeah. I think this is the first time it's been touched in quite a while that would trigger it, so,
Mhm.
All right, so we'll put it.
okay.
Anyway.
What are they putting down on the floor? Permanent?
We'll probably put sleepers down and insulate in between them and then plywood. Just so that you're not right on the floor itself.
And how high is the ceiling height then?
It's like 7'6". Minimum building code is 7 feet, so it's in excess of that.
And what is in the utility room? Is it
All the electric meters.
all the electric meters? So there's no chemical storage, no
No.
mechanicals that would generate noise or anything? like that?
Just
Okay,
all the electric meters are.
okay, great.
Pretty straightforward, there's no special
Right.
waivers.
Anybody else have any other questions? How about staff, we good?
No, we're good.
Okay. Under seeker. It's an unlisted action. So I have before me a short environmental assessment form that staff has indicated is in order. I'll make a motion that we approve it. Do I have a second? Second by Chuck Palaco. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes, Carl Palaco.
Yeah.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
Vince Archer,
Yes.
Andrew Harris. Okay. Barry. All right, we have conditions and policies.
Yes, so I have board policies 6, 7, 20, 23, and 24. 23 is not, putting that back in. And also the condition community to work with the Ulster County 911 for input on identification for emergency responders access. If you're really connecting, to all current utility systems, that service the building, you'll confirm the USPS mail receptacle location and payment in lieu of parkland fee of $3,000 for the unit.
Okay, so with those policies and conditions, I'll make a motion that we approve item number 3. Do I have a second on that? Second by Matt Gillis. Look at him down there, he wasn't doing it, so, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carry. All right, what are your shorter meetings for us, John?
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. You know.
Bullet 85, Kylie emailed them about 485 Broadway, what the meeting was tomorrow night. Last month's meeting was Tuesday, so they, these Tuesday, not realizing that was a holiday. They said that we could go forward if we're comfortable without them, or they would ask respectfully that we table it next month. We can run through the items if you want and discuss it. If you're comfortable, fine, we can move forward. If not, we don't have to make a decision. You can wait until next month. And if you do have additional questions, we can certainly get back to them on them.
I did also text Julie Noble and let her know that she's being up a little bit, so she will have a couple of applicants present, if you wanna take them first, and then
What was that? I'm sorry.
I texted Julie in the meantime.
Okay.
And also Andy is here, if you wanna.
You took the bat jet over, did you?
So, and also, Andy's here from Hooker Street,
Okay.
so if you wanna do those.
We'll go through them first.
Hooker Street?
Hooker Street.
Yep.
Stay in order.
All right, going into waiver request, you want?
Yeah, of course.
What's up, bro?
How are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
How's everybody doing, man?
Good. Item number 4 is 19 Hooker Street, major waiver request for a 20-foot wide curb cut to access multiple properties. Section block and lot is 48.83-3-14, seeker determination, transect zone T3L, Ward 7. Joseph Levy is the applicant owner. Andy Gutierrez is here, you're representing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna get some pictures up there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Amy, is the new curb cut meant to serve all 3 parcels or only 2?
Nope, all three.
The drawing still kind of shows,
So I kind of highlighted it, so it's a little bit
okay,
easier to see. It's hard to see with the picture with all the other lines on there. But basically before there was 2 separate accesses, there was one up here, in the corner, in between 1 and 2, and then between, 2 and 3.
right,
So basically we want to do away with the upper one on the sharp turn here. And we want to do just one singular access and then a parking lot in the back. So we're looking to do a 20-foot wide kind of parcel strip there. And
okay.
I say, it's
Cause the plan that we had showed the 20 feet on the upper, closer to the curve and not down between the 2 lots. That was the confusion.
Is that that red box
there?
red, yeah,
Yeah.
red notation there,
On the
toward the curb,
yeah.
yes.
I could pass this over to you too if that's easier.
Yeah,
It might be a little more clear.
okay, yeah, so. Instead of this was where the 20 feet is marked out up here. In this red box here, and so that's why it was confusing. So now this is gonna be 20, so this will have to be redrawn and resubmitted. And then this map will change because right now it shows driveways coming in here and here.
That was
And
the
then-
original, right?
Yeah.
I remember
Right.
them sharing.
Right.
Curb cuts when they were first here.
Yeah, that's the original that was already approved. What we're looking at right now. This is the piece that we sent over to change it to, which is not up there right now.
So this won't necessitate coming to another meeting, right?
No, I think we can work on the maps
Yeah.
at that level.
And John Steinmeier looks out too, does he, or does he need to?
No, this map was Mike Lettieri, was the
Okay,
surveyor.
I'm sorry, no, John Schulte.
So place, no, we'll do the curb cuts.
Okay,
So one thing that, will need to get done is because there's going to be a shared driveway access for all 3 parcels. There'll have to be a legal agreement that is drawn up
Okay.
and put in place that will cover both maintenance and access rights to cross in and out over the various properties for all 3.
No problem.
And then, so that will have to be drafted by your
Attorneys.
attorney, and then just we'll review it, and then that will get filed
Okay.
at the county. And then the other thing and it'll have to spell out the meets and bounds of the dimensions of not only the right way driveway, but the parking
Parking area
area,
in the
and
back.
who's got rights to what.
Understood.
Okay, so that will need to get done, and then we'll need to see, obviously, the revised plan that shows those have to be removed, and the other one widened and put in place.
Okay.
and all of the things we're talking about tonight will be included in a list that, we're a summary of what happens tonight,
So
so,
actually, awesome.
yeah.
Amazing.
And then we also discussed, at staff level that, I don't know, it's a low wet area in there, so we talked about, at least, we don't know what you're planning to do for material.
So we will, we started bringing some in already. We kind of was creating this in our staging area, if you would, for now. Basically what we're using is a large 8 inch by 12 inch rock to put down. We're gonna do it at least 3 foot thick, with fabric at the bottom. And we're basically up of everything. So there's plenty of room for the water to shed off, graded the hill back. Anybody that drives by now can kind of see that a little bit better. And the parking lot is up above. There's kind of like a natural stream, if you would, that goes down by the neighbor's property. The parking lot's approximately 4 foot above that,
Okay.
and all the water kind of sheds that way.
It sheds to that stream to the neighbor's property.
Well, it's both of their properties. That stream is like shared on this property and there it's right on the property line itself.
What kind of material you're gonna use from like where it comes right off of Hooker Street? So you make a little apron of.
Yeah, definitely gonna do like an apron of rock there for
Okay.
sure. We we might have to do like a little curb if you guys aren't opposed to that, just for the water sake of the road water coming off through there.
What will that be, a concrete, or are you gonna put a blacktop berm?
We prefer to do concrete, as long as it's okay with you guys. Again, but
Blacktop now.
Yeah.
whatever you guys allow us to do at the end of the day, we definitely want to keep as much water out of the property as possible,
Right.
for everybody's sakes.
So I think what we would have is have you then or whomever draw your access curb cut with the curbing,
curbing.
concrete curbing where you want it. And then I would recommend that we have, rather than just the rock from the road surface, at least to your property line, maybe a little bit in, have an asphalt so that we're not tracking, so stone is not tracking in and out to the road.
100%.
It's kept basically on the property and then, yeah,
This, what they would like to do, is pave this whole piece where the project's done. So
Okay.
no stone will be coming out. This entire piece. Done. So the only stone access you'll have right now is during construction.
okay,
Once construction's done, this whole thing will be item 4, 6 inches on top of that base. And then another 6 inches of asphalt on top of
so
it.
the building department will oversee that paving work, so you'll just have to be sure that there is some kind of mechanism to collect the storm, so it doesn't just sheet drain off
Yep.
to the adjacent
What are you gonna put
properties.
box in or something there?
Well, there
Yeah.
were 3 dry wells on.
There's 3 dry wells on the back
Keep
that
them?
grab some stuff.
You're gonna
Yeah,
keep them?
yeah, they're already in and inspected, like, we're not looking to change anything on the plan.
Okay.
We're just looking to basically get easements to widen the driveway.
Okay.
That's
Those dry wells put in as a result of the.
So no, the dry wells are only installed right now currently for the roof leaders.
Okay.
That's the only purpose for the dry wells at this time.
Can you pass that around?
Yes,
That
of course.
pink shows where the.
The pink shows where we're looking to, what we're looking to do.
So are we just considering the curb cut? We're not considering the parking lot or anything?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
So technically, they could have 3 10-foot curb cuts there, right? And
yeah,
so having 1 20-foot eliminates.
And especially if the
Cuts.
furthest away from the curb.
it's a safety,
Yeah,
it's also a safety for sight distance.
Yeah.
Considerations because of that curve and the slope, the road is a hill, steep hill.
So we'll have a checklist for this, that we can. I probably have it.
You know what?
We
I
did it.
didn't make this one.
Okay.
The other 2 and. Not.
I do look for questions, then.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanna change, I have extra ID. If you
Okay.
change on, okay.
Anybody else have any other questions right now?
No, I just want to clarify that okay, so the code states that it's a 10-foot cut per parcel, yes? And the proposal is 120 for all three to share,
Yes,
but primary reason is for safety aspect.
that is, yes, it's because
Because of the way
if you're familiar with the roadway there,
Yeah.
it's a steep roadway coming down, and then you've got the hill, so it's not only sight distance, but speed. And then also, as he was mentioning before, drainage.
Yeah.
Consideration, so it'll stop the drainage from sheet draining onto their property.
And what kind of traffic access is that one-way path? Like, how many residents on average, or how many occupants?
So each unit will have two,
There are 3 duplexes.
exactly. So you could have 6 cars, like on like the max, I would say. I wouldn't expect most of these people to have more than one vehicle there.
I think it makes sense to have a waiver for something like that, particularly because it's safety
Yeah.
related. They don't go with it, certainly.
Okay.
I concur.
Yeah.
Section, you know which section it is, but any questions?
All right, so for the waiver, we have a checklist here. Do I have to read the whole preamble?
No.
Okay. All right, so this is for 19 Hooker Street, Transect T3L, section block and lots 48.83-3-14. The intent of Transect in which the property is located. The applicant has included a waiver request letter that clearly identifies and describes the waiver being proposed, accompanied by plans or other visual representations as applicable. I'm saying yes. Everybody concur with that?
Yes.
And they'll submit a revised.
You could be on that side,
Showing
yeah,
that
that'd be
once
useful.
taken off the plan and the curbing and all, we'll work with them on that.
Thank you.
In their letter, the applicant describes in detail why the waiver is needed and how the waiver request is consistent with the intent, design, and compatibility of the transect zone in which the project is located. I say yes to that. Does everybody concur? Will granting the waiver contribute to the realization of the overall intent of the transect zone and result in an improved project, which will be an attractive and durable contribution to the transect zone? I say yes. Concur? To support walkable neighborhoods and or mixed use centers, the project emulates the neighborhood context for how far the buildings or buildings relate to the sidewalk, how the facade is designed, and how the building interacts with the street. The fact that there's no sidewalk there, we're going with an NA on this, or is that just part of the, does it have to have a,
Yeah, there is no sidewalk.
So-
in that neighborhood.
yeah, so we're NA now, right? Does everybody compare with that? The project supports a green and resilient future by, for example, reducing vehicular miles traveled, providing green infrastructure and or street trees, and or including high quality usable open space. Just the fact that they are not gonna have a third driveway or second driveway,
In this instance, I mean, they're not,
I mean, we're preserving
slight
green space
decrease
by.
probably in the coverage
Another
of
driveway.
paved area. There might be a slight decrease, but I mean, it's kind of a wash because you're creating a larger parking area at the back by going across all 3 sites. And there's some green infrastructure, but there's no street tree. I mean, it's not a site plan per se, so it's it was a subdivision.
we don't do site plans for 1, 2, or 3 family homes. So we don't have that detail. That's all at the building safety.
Yeah.
You can make recommendations that they encourage them to incorporate green infrastructure in the development of the parking lots.
So bottom line, this is an NA for this, and
Pretty much for you.
for me, I'm thinking, everybody concur with that?
But I think the planning board should make the statement in the final.
What would
decision.
you guys like to see for green space, like some extra trees thrown in, some landscaping around that?
Yeah,
We're totally in control of it, so any comments, anything like that?
You'll have that in here, Tim. The project supports incremental development patterns in its size and density and supports infill development with the reuse of existing buildings. I'm saying NA on that. Concur?
Yes.
Okay. Project supports the provision of a variety of housing types to support a range of income levels, age groups, and family units. I'm saying NA on it. Could I agree? I know. The project specifies street design that is walkable and bikeable and will reinforce safe and comfortable environments for all users. NA on that. Concur?
I mean, I think less curb cuts just it's safer, so I think you need to say yes,
okay.
especially with the how the street is there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got, to say, well, it's not walkable really there, but bikeable.
Yeah, it is bikeable. I mean,
I bike down that hill weekly to get to the
I
park.
would, I could agree with that. Interesting.
And we did say it's creating safer routes there, so, all right, everybody agree with no or NA?
That's,
I'm sorry, yeah, yes or
Yeah.
NA?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Okay. That passes muster. Let me date it and sign it then,
please.
or do you need to do a whole new thing for this? Is
No.
this being the official?
Yeah. Did you check this?
Good point.
So with the checklist and with also, then providing, working with staff to submit the revised plan to show the curbing and the entryways and the removal of the old curb cuts. Also submitting a maintenance agreement, that includes also the access, with meets and bounds, and then adding the trees and vegetation around the parking area for shade.
And again, this will be all written out and you'll.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. I'm gonna do the seeker. So, this is a type 2 action, so you know, predetermined to have no environmental impact, no further review of the board is required. So, you just basically illustrated everything that we need to have in that motion. So with the policies and conditions that Sue has described, I'll make a motion that we approve item number 4. Second on that. Second by Vince Archer. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. All right.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time here. I hope you guys have a great evening.
So,
Here.
the owner from 485.
Oh, there he is behind me. Okay. Okay. We're going back to number 2. Old business. You can sit right at the, you can sit, that's wherever you're comfortable. Under old business, item number 2 is 485 Broadway, site plan to add a 6,667 square foot side and rear addition with a 236 square foot frontage to an existing retail building to establish a grocery store. A waiver request for parking setback and second curb cut. Section block and lot is 56.26-10-1, secret determination. Transect zone C5MS, Ward 5. J. Deasing is the applicant. Just and Paul LLC are the owners, is the owner. Okay, sir, can you state your name for the record?
Eduardo Fernandez.
Okay, welcome again.
Thank you.
Hey. No, thank you. Any changes from the last time you were here?
No, it's the same.
Well, we have, the plan was updated by your architect, and he did, resubmit, a plan that has, again, gotten some reviews, by some local agencies. You did have some public comment, that came in for this. Hopefully you all getting notifications and reading those comments as they come through and they are posted. Just a couple things, along the side of the new addition where where the property abuts the Andy Murphy, Center, Midtown Center. They've added in the wooden guardrail that we spoke about last month. And also they've added a row of evergreen plantings, between the building and the fencing. So that is there. One of the comments of the CAC, which was a good one, we didn't pick it up, is that there are two evergreen plantings that block the pedestrian access from that was primarily asked to be put back in place because there's a connection with the Andy Murphy Center. So we're going to ask that those be removed and just relocated between the pavement area and the property line.
Is that the Barbary?
No, those are the evergreen, the arborvitae's along the.
Okay.
All right, so that is a simple, that can be a condition of approval.
Oh, okay, the arborvitae's, okay.
Right, they've also added in some trees along the Pine Grove and some shrubbery along Pine Grove and along the Broadway streetscapes. One of the comments from the urban forester is that they chose to use a sugar maple, but his comment was to replace those, even though there are sugar maples on the site, replace those with a different variety because they're becoming less tolerant of climate change. And so their survival is in urban settings, it's not so terrific. So he's recommended some changes to those, and they've been also forwarded to the architect, and the architect agreed. I believe after talking to you that you would incorporate the urban forester's comments. He had some other comments on some other shrubbery, as did the CAC. Those have been transmitted, and you've agreed to work with those comments as well. So that they can be conditions, and they'll be coming back with a revised plan, hopefully to staff if the board approves that. They've also indicated on here that they are going to be, restriping and putting in place the crosswalks. And that, so one other thing that we would like, and we'll talk about a little bit later, is the crosswalks where you get to the driveway access points. Those should also be painted and striped, clearly defined, when we get to that point.
Yes.
Can you go to the elevation drawing, Kyla? If the board recalls, the Pine Grove elevation last month was just a plain elevation. One of the comments was to add something to the side of the building to break up that long expanse of bricks. They are going to, so what they proposed here are two kind of faux type window seams that'll advertise, fruits, vegetables, grocery related materials, just to break that up. And they're putting a couple of awnings over it to make, just dress them up a little bit as well. As everybody remembers, probably from last month, the new addition, materials are going to match the current building materials. They're looking to match the brick, as closely as possible, as well as some of the details with the linear lines going around the building. There's two new overhead doors, one on Pine Grove and one to the Broadway face. The Pine Grove one will be used for delivery of product. And the Broadway one will be used for trash, removal of trash and storage in an outside area that's also going to be constructed of brick with either steel doors in the front, and they'll be painted to match either the brick or a tan complementary type material. What else did we talk about? Trying to think. Am I missing anything, Kyla? It's all. Yeah.
We talked about a bike rack, but that was not added yet. Although they know about it.
So that would have to be added.
At the bottom of the page on the elevations section, we have the refuse enclosure. Is that something new, how this is gonna look from the last meeting, or is this?
That's a similar, that was added to the drawings to demonstrate the type of closure, the doors that they're gonna be using. So that they think they originally proposed like a stockade wood, but now they're going with a steel, which is more appropriate for the doors. Yeah.
And that'll be for a dumpster inside there? Is that gonna be?
Yes.
It's a compactor, actually. Yep. Maybe last question.
I'm reading through your letter here too. Is that what you're looking to
I was just
add?
going to ask about non-trash.
Well, that's what I was just about to take the breath to do that. So, part of the Conservation Advisory Council's letter to us is, your solid waste storage. So, the Ulster County Food Waste Prevention and Recovery Act, if you're gonna be generating more than 1,000 pounds of food per week, like expired food,
Right.
it requires businesses to divert and compost all food waste. Do you have a plan for that? Do you,
Well, we
I
usually.
don't know if you do that with your other stores?
Right, we just, put it in the compact. All the garbage is mixed there, just the cardboard don't go there. Cardboard goes in the bale,
All right,
but the other thing is garbage, so we just put it in the garbage can.
but do you think you're gonna have more than 1,000 pounds of expired food a week?
No, because the expired, whatever's expired, companies take them back. So they take them with them.
And do you, I mean, also to get rid of stuff that's close to expiring, do you donate to food banks too, or how do you?
Nah,
Nothing?
we're gonna donate something with the fresh, really. You don't want no problems later.
How do we stay on top of that? Go ahead.
Julie Noble, Sustainability Coordinator for the city, just to follow up with that. Whether or not the business is subject to diversion will be not a business's decision, it will be a regulatory decision. So that will be determined once the business is established, so if they do produce half a ton or more, then that will be established by the county. And then they will mandate it,
Who does that inspection?
the health department of the county. So right now, there's about 20 businesses within the city of Kingston that fall into that category, including all of our grocery stores. But I also want to mention that recycling of commingled materials is also mandated in the state. So, that means bottles, plastic, glass, metal
Separating.
has to be source separated.
Right, that goes into we have bottle machines, some to pick it up they pick it up every week, they take out whatever recycle waste. We got the machines outside. We pull out of the machine, throw it in the bin in the back, and they pick it up weekly.
Are you talking about the other types of bottles?
I don't know what their business model is, so if they're like, if there's value added products made there, so if they're opening a number 10 can of tomato sauce, and that can needs to be, it's more than soda bottles.
So whenever, I guess to sum up that part of the composting thing, whenever the health department comes to do their periodic inspections, this is what they will take a look at as well, right? And they'll make a determination then. So just,
They would oversee, any requirement for food scraps, diversion, but Ulster County Resource Recovery Agency is the authority on recycling.
okay. So if you exceed these thresholds from these agencies conducting inspections, just be prepared for that. You might,
Right.
you'll be subject to having to do the composting, all right? So, okay.
And we take another comment from the public.
From you, I will.
Can we work with Mr.
My name is Chuck Snyder. I'm representing the Holy Cross Church, which is the property just to the south of the Reading complex, which is the left on the drawing here. Our parish hall backs up right to the property line. It's not shown on the drawing, but it's essentially where the box is, where it says landscaping, except it's right to the property line. I was glad to hear, first of all, grocery store, welcome in town, be fantastic. I was glad to hear deliveries, and I just want to clarify, deliveries on Pine Grove, all service, all garbage off of Broadway. It would have been reversed, would have been difficult for us. And the only other thing I would say is when Rite Aid was built, much to our consternation of Tank on the Trail was building. They did something, they built a segmented retaining wall right on the property line between the two properties and somehow interrupted drainage to our parish hall. It's flooded ever since. I don't know if a footing drain was interrupted or there was a dry well installed, didn't have an outlet. I don't really know. We've never been able to diagnose the problem. But now with this new construction, right, the two buildings are gonna be, I'm guessing, 5 or 6 feet
All of the
apart.
roof drainage is being taken to the front,
No,
so it won't
it
be,
can probably only get better,
yeah,
but if we could just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay.
And I understand I missed the comment period by a couple of days. I was on a beach and got this notification on Thursday last week, so.
Okay.
there are comments as well from the water department, with regards to, the connections, so these should be a condition of approval as well, right?
Okay.
So are we discussing the curb cut waiver right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to move to, there's the fee waiver.
Yeah.
Discussions. So one is, for the second curb cut. And we touched upon it last month. And in between last month and this month, one of the public, actually a couple of public, comments addressed it. And we also received a comment from the fire chief, saying that he felt that for emergency services, the second curb cut is important to them. And he wants to see it obtained. I know that at the last month's discussion, we talked about traffic circulation on site. We did speak about maybe modifying the Broadway access, which is currently, when you exit, it's a two-way in and out right now. But when you exit, it is a right turn only. So there was a little bit of discussion last month about possibly limiting it to only exit movements and no entering movements. That wouldn't stop the fire department from accessing it, to be honest. But it would hopefully maybe deter some of the crossover, traffic, which was a concern for, the pedestrian safety along the street as well, but.
Having one flow of traffic in and out has to be a safety.
You would still be able,
of a-
egress could still go out of the Pine Grove, so Pine Grove would stay a
As
two-way.
two.
That would stay a two-way, yeah, and that is important because the truck traffic, you know, they're gonna be coming in and then making the backing movement and then, you know, unloading their product. And then they would be pulling out and going to the controlled signal intersection in order to get back onto Broadway.
I think having it be exit only seems reasonable. I mean, if you wanted to turn left in there, you can just go to the intersection and make a left onto Pine Grove. If you wanted to turn right in there, you've already gone through the intersection coming from Pine Grove. You could have just turned right onto Pine Grove. There's no,
Yeah,
I don't see that being a huge disruption. Given what
Is there signage there right now?
Right now,
Right.
there is signage in place that there's a no left turn, right turn only when you exit. But nothing, there would have to be signage added to the plan that says no entrance.
Yeah.
where is the loading dock on the back, where you come in on the side?
On this side,
It's on the other side.
right here, in the back of the, yeah, right there,
So the delivery trucks have to come in and then go all the way around to the other side?
right.
So they go down Pine Grove.
Yeah.
So with the deliveries will go down Pine Grove, pull into the site,
Yeah.
and then back into their deliver the product.
So they would come and loop around the parking lot and then back into that left-hand
Correct.
side corner. But
Yeah.
they would also have the same access to pull straight out and head out to the right only.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that would actually probably be what makes most sense for like the patrons.
Well, I think Kyra, I think you're talking about the Pine Grove entrance. Like we're saying the Broadway would be exit.
It is, right, but you could enter from there, right? But you would be able to enter from there and exit from Pine Grove. Not,
Enter only from Pine Grove.
yes, okay, so this is in only, so the truck would have to come in, pull out, turn around. And only go out the Broadway.
No, you can,
Pine Grove is two-way
Pine
and
Grove
I'm not saying that's
is
just
two-way.
having Broadway be one-way.
Pine Grove is state.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Right. So a truck would come in Pine Grove.
Right.
Pull into the site, back in, unload a product, then pull out Pine Grove and go out to the intersection.
Yeah.
They don't have to go through the site to exit onto Broadway. They would go out Pine Grove to the controlled intersection.
So this first one I think is intended for garbage trucks because they're pulling in, going this direction, backing to get the garbage and going out Broadway. And the second one is indicating what a delivery.
A semi-trailer, something.
Right.
So they would come into the site, back into the space, unload, and then likely pull out. I mean, I guess they could go out the Broadway exit if they wanted to, but they would likely go back out.
So making that exit only doesn't affect any of their plans with these trucks or anything.
May I just ask, if the engineers have looked at the turning radius in exiting onto Pine Grove? Because this exit demonstrates that you're exiting onto the in lane of Pine Grove and not onto the out lane of Pine Grove.
Yeah, well, this is showing just the front and back tires. I don't think it's really showing them coming back out. I think this is just showing them coming in and how they back in. They didn't really show pulling out this way.
I guess my point was, I'm not sure the turning radius is there if there are cars parked in that center median.
And make this,
Well, I mean, when the pharmacy was there, the trucks had to get in and out same way, right? I mean, it went probably, I'm assuming it went through our engineer when that was originally built.
Yeah.
they're making this turn So I don't know that it would be that different than making that, but. Yeah, there occasionally are some curves getting.
I will confirm.
Yeah, we'll confirm with that, yeah, okay.
Can I ask one question? Are you wondering if the trucks, if the pharmacies are the same size as the trucks that would be?
The tractor trailers, yeah, for the pharmacy.
Yeah, are they,
They're,
It depends.
the same.
And would that make a difference?
You have probably a lot more refrigerated product on a food delivery truck versus a pharmacy truck, which would have more dry. So it just depends on volume and depends on how many delivery sites that they have. But I don't think either one,
Well,
when you talk about a large truck, you're talking about multiple delivery sites that they're
Right.
hitting.
trailers we get maybe twice a week. We get most of the small trucks.
So I'm thinking,
But the trailers, we get it twice a week, basically.
So I'm thinking that the original design of this was based on what the maximum tractor trailer length.
right, and how long was Rite Aid there? Like for years and years. I'm just saying the volume has probably declined over time, but originally they probably based that off of larger volume, which could mean that they had planned for a larger size truck. Possibly.
I don't think that you could get, I mean, what, I don't know what you're saying, I don't understand.
What Julie's talking about when you have like the clearance for delivery, the size of delivery truck. And determining what size delivery trucks are gonna be in and out of there is almost.
Largest would be tractor trailer with 53-foot trailer.
And that's what I'm saying, I think that that was designed for that
Right.
length,
I believe it probably had to be.
yeah. I mean, will there be maybe smaller trailers coming in, the trailers, I don't, probably, but I think this was designed, and we can confirm with that too. So when we talk to John Schultz, that this was designed for whatever the maximum length of tractor trailer, 53.
Probably.
We'll have the architect put the turning movements for the exit on to this final site plan as well.
Yeah.
Just confirm that they're suitable, all right? Okay.
Is there a second curb cut in the left side of the building?
What was that? I'm sorry.
A second curb cut, out to Broad One.
It's going out.
We're taking it out.
No, it's exit only.
Well,
We're discussing it, sure, yes.
there was a second curb cut here, wasn't there?
No, there's the one, there's a curb cut is down by the
Yeah,
bottom,
I see this one, yeah.
and the other one is up.
Right.
There are already two there, yeah.
Okay.
My question is, what's the big hang up about that or entrance? Right.
Well, the code, I mean, the code triggers. Let me finish. The code triggers a section that if you're putting more than 25%, increasing the size of the structure more than 25%, that the parking section of the code is supposed to be enforced. Now, there's another section of the code, and we asked actually the people who wrote the code for interpretation on this as well. There's this section in the code about adaptive reuse of properties, of existing properties where you have infrastructure in place, buildings in place, and how the new code applies. And their response is in your staff notes, and it's written there. But it's where they don't increase the degree of nonconformity, then the adaptive reuse of the properties can be liberally determined and applied. And that's what we're looking at in terms of these waivers. I think the suggestion though, because there is a lot of foot traffic along Broadway, I believe that this building, this new use will probably get a lot of foot traffic along with vehicular traffic, and bike traffic. So the question came up about pedestrian safety, knowing that there's the school nearby and the Y and the rec center. It's a lot of youth. So it came up about the safety of, those, that population. And it's a good point. And that's why, if we want to retain the second means of ingress and egress or second curb cut for public safety purposes, such as the fire department's request, then limiting it to exit turns only and prohibiting entering into that, I think is a good compromise, a solid, and it moves this plan more into conformity with the new code, but it also works to everyone else's advantage.
So we're talking about limiting it back, right next door, it's wide open for the people coming in. Maybe the people don't walk past that, I don't know.
I'm working on this site plan right now.
Andrew?
Well, so the fire department, they're the letter. I mean, is that a recommendation or they say they've required? That's,
Well,
is that,
they can't require,
All right.
but it is a recommendation.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we do site plan reviews, we refer them out to all the municipal agencies and, we take those comments seriously.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
obviously, public safety is very important, so.
And that helps with, apparatus placement, how they get in and out, that's just a multiple vehicles, yeah.
So the two curb cuts is the one waiver. The second waiver is because there is parking, existing parking, within the 30-foot front setback. I mean, it's pre-existing, it's there. The option is to remove that, and I don't think that's beneficial to the new owners. Or, I don't know that it would really change the project, it would negatively affect the project. So again, we were looking at that adaptive reuse. Reasoning for that. They are removing some of the parking, by creating the corrals for the shopping carts. And one of the urban foresters comments to add additional landscaping for the length of the number of parking spaces in a row will require another one to be removed, which they've agreed to. So that's already 3 reduced. By code, they're conforming with the number, so. So within the notes, there are written statements for both of those. The board needs to discuss each of them and weigh in on those waivers as well. As part of your decision.
Second waiver being for the pre-existing parking spaces and all the stuff. I just don't think that has any kind of violation on anything. Safety hurts the people patroning and the business itself. I think that the first waiver is a little bit more, there's a little bit more complexity to it. I know when I was looking at this originally, when I was looking at the plan, I was looking at it upside down. I don't know why, but if the recommendation of the curb cuts comes from the fire department, that's enough for me for a safety aspect, and I think that that's what you have to work with. That's first.
And also making exit only turn.
Right, and keeping in mind where the Annie Murphy Center exits and enters too, because there's a lot of youth, but I mean, there's a lot of in and out, especially like on Saturdays with games, stuff like that. That's gonna be the probably busier time for the grocery store too. So where is that large flux of foot traffic coming? That's gonna be on the weekends.
Well, the drugstore had a lot of traffic in and out.
Yeah, and there's no, it's not necessarily overnight deliveries. It's usually whenever,
Right.
there's no set.
Usually before noon.
Yeah, when the staff is there to help unload and put away. Do you guys get weekend deliveries?
Yes, like milk and stuff like that.
Yeah. But usually the larger deliveries, the two are during the week.
Tuesday is the largest.
Yeah. Which is good.
I think the exit only is a good compromise. I think that increases safety a lot. It reduces kind of the left turn. You're not paying attention to a sidewalk, you're paying attention to cars coming at you. I think pushing all of that to the controlled intersection. I think that's the best we can do without having to tell fire trucks and ambulances they have to turn around in the parking lot.
Finish? Finish?
Good. The only thing I wanted to mention, Carol was talking about, the first picture shows the truck coming out on one way.
No, that's a, that's a garbage truck gonna back up into the compactor.
That's a garbage truck.
Yeah.
But it can go out onto Broadway.
Not a truck,
Yeah, exit only.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it comes and backs
I
in.
think I see something tall with this, they produce all that.
The trucks.
Yeah.
Good call.
Maybe just a note that to get, when you're talking to this, fire department or whoever about the clearance, just so that it's noted and then, so it doesn't ever have to be revisited because it's determined. No plans. Might as well,
About clearance for,
the truck, but we were talking about before,
As far as apparatus getting in and out, you mean?
yeah. Wasn't that a product?
Yeah, that was part of the
Yeah,
fire chief's
Yeah,
comments, were
right.
gonna become part of
yeah,
the decision.
I think that's, so,
Yeah.
I mean, what a home run though, to put a grocery store next to a facility that has so much going on with the neighborhood and families.
Yeah. Charlie? Charles, Chuck?
You know, we could tell them, you gotta put a sign up that says entrance only or exit only. People aren't gonna pay attention to that. So we can do.
that's an enforcement issue. That's not. this-
But one already exists, right?
Huh?
One already exists.
One already exists for making, when you exit, turning movement, so it's right turn only, left. Right turn only when you exit. That exists right now.
On Broadway.
So, right, so what we're saying is that another sign be added that says no entrance, exit, it's an exit only. Which I think is fair,
Mhm.
that's fair. You also just have one small waiver with regards to the required information. Every plan, every project has a list of requirements for submission. And they asked for a waiver on submitting the existing and proposed contours, and we would recommend that you agree to that waiver because it's a flat site, no changes are being made to any site.
That would changes with, yeah.
So it's a legitimate request.
Do we gotta do another checklist for that though?
No, that is just a
Okay,
statement.
everybody concurs with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You have the, and then you also have the investigation with justification with senior staff notes, if you want to review that and just concur, disagree or modify, whatever.
Yeah, the checklist.
Yep. So that was on the checklist.
Yeah.
Might I suggest reading it and addressing both waivers? Rather than reading it twice. Cause I forgot any water in your.
No, well, I'm not gonna do the preamble up here, but I do read this part. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's like read the question and answer for both the.
So do both checklists and then the justification.
Yeah.
Great idea.
That's what this says. Just gonna go into the checklist, right? All right, this is for 485 Broadway, transect T5NS 56.26-10-1. This waiver is requested under 405.16.E.2. And this has to do with. No, that's not identified on here. This is just generic.
We just have to memorize.
You want to do the minimum setback for,
So, point two is the parking location,
Okay.
minimum setback.
okay,
And
all right,
point
23.
three is the number of credit cards.
Okay. So this is the minimum setbacks for off-street parking from all property lines that are provided in the transect zone standards. Okay. Intent of the transect in which property is located. The applicant has included a waiver request letter that clearly identifies and describes the waiver being proposed, accompanied by plans or other visual representations as applicable. Yes. Everybody concur? Yes.
Yes.
Speak up, please.
Yes, wait, thank you, the other one, so since you read it, now just for the other waiver, is that also, yeah?
I'm doing two waivers on, okay, at once, that's what you're saying?
Well, that's what I was suggesting, so you don't have to
Okay.
read each question.
All right, so the other waiver request is. And this way, okay.
You want to read it again?
I know. So this is for, are we doing both at the same
Yes.
time? Okay, that's what I want to make. All right. In their letter, the applicant describes in detail why the waiver is needed and how the waiver request is consistent with the intent, design, and compatibility of the transect zone in which the project is located. So we're also doing the curb cut. Wait, that's what I'm thinking.
That's it.
Thank you. All right. I need a secretary. All right, so that is a yes on that one, right? Yes.
Yes.
Will granting the waiver contribute to the realization of the overall intent of the transect zone and result in an improved project, which will be an attractive and durable contribution to the transect zone? I say yes.
Yes.
Concur?
Yes.
To support walkable neighborhoods and or mixed use centers, the project emulates the neighborhood context for how far the buildings relate to the sidewalk, how the facade is designed, and how the building interacts with the street.
Yes.
For both of them, yes? Yes,
Yeah.
okay, concur? Never had to do two at once before.
You're doing just fine.
The project supports a green and resilient future by, for example, reducing vehicular miles traveled, providing green infrastructure and or street trees, and or including high quality usable open space.
Yes.
Yes,
Having landscaping, providing bike racks,
and the
taking curb,
traffic flow through there, and
improving pedestrian.
everybody concurs with yes on that? Okay, yes. The project supports incremental development patterns in its size and density and supports infill development or the reuse of existing buildings. Yes. Garth? Project supports the provision of a variety of housing types to support a range of income levels, age groups, and family units. NA on that? Concur? Project specifies street design that is walkable and bikeable and will reinforce safe and comfortable environments for all users. I would say yes. Concur?
Yes.
Okay. They have passed the checklist. Two and three.
Review the justification language.
You want me to read through this right here, this the highlighted stuff?
Yeah, the reasoning.
The applicant provided that is that where we're going with right here in that section?
By the following reasoning.
Well, we gave the reasons. Everybody's expressed their,
Okay.
they verbalize it, right?
Right.
And we've concurred with the checklist as well. Okay, everybody agree with that? Okay. All right,
That's under the condition that do not enter signs put up.
I have those listed for here. Yep.
all right. Go to the end of this thing now. So
Unlisted.
unlisted action under seeker. So I have before me a short environmental assessment form that staff has indicated is in order. At this time, we'll make a motion that we approve it. Do I have a second? Second by Andrew. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Balaco. Yes. Matt Gillis.
Yeah.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
Andrew Harris.
Yes.
Yes.
So I have as conditions for policies 4, 4A, 6, 7, 10, 13, 18, 21, 23, and 24. That you are waiving the submission of a contour plan, that the Kingston Water Department comments will be a condition of approval. We will confirm with the applicants the turning radius for trucks exiting the site onto Pine Grove. They will include a plan that shows bike racks. They will add signage at the exit on Broadway to make it a exit only and right turn only and when exiting. All landscaping changes as requested by the urban foresters comment will be complied with. They will revise to add the crosswalks at both curb cuts. And they will follow the CAC's comments on diversion and composting and mandatory recycling.
Anything else need to be added to that? Okay. With the policies and conditions that Sue has illustrated, I will make a motion that we approve item number 2. Got a second? Second by Chuck Balaco. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. So you'll have a list of everything that Sue has described.
Thank you for running over. Yeah.
Thank you.
That part of the room is over.
He was over at the store.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
60 minutes. Great, number 5, is that what we're gonna do? See everybody.
Yep.
See you, Chuck. You burn it down. They were gonna do something about that. Yes. Well, I think these guys have a version for. Yes, I think that's something. Yeah. Yeah. That we can that's what I thought he was gonna do.
He's only scrounged in my. I know, I don't think we're gonna do this. But I'm like. That's what I normally use.
Anybody else knows?
Okay, you rushed over for this,
Yes, I know, look for them.
that's what we're doing.
Oh, was in here.
Let me,
It's a serious number.
here for
Just
item
for-
number 5.
Set.
In coastal assessment, 46 and 50 North Street. LWRP Coastal Consistency Review, section block and lot is 56.36, the village 32 and 33. Transect zone T4N-O, Ward 8, City of Kingston, the applicant owner. Julie Noble here is here representing the city. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So good. You're in, Kyra.
Nice.
Andrew Harris is heading out the door.
Thanks, Mason.
I don't mind you. Do, we have storage out, so we have the support. And now, right, sort of, go right. And
But we're gonna be pulling up some stuff behind you here in a sec.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show everyone where it is to start. So you know what we're talking about. The other one, you want to give one.
Yeah. So I'm Julie Noble, Sustainability Coordinator with the City of Kingston. I now am the sole project manager with that title in the city. And I am, so the two parcels that we're looking at here, which is 46 and 50 North Street, have been in the eye of our Building Safety Division for several years. They've been vacant since 2014 and they are condemned residential homes. There's 3 buildings on the property. Do you have the pictures? Can we show the pictures?
You got that with the meeting plan?
I was, existing conditions for both. We are at the intersection of East Union and North Street. And, as I mentioned, they are municipal buildings that were taken over because of condemnation. And this has led to us seeking a grant from the Department of State, which we were successful at getting.
I'm sorry, I have property record cards. Is that what you're?
No, but
Let's see. You in here.
I have enough, so I can be sure.
You want Sue to invite you to?
Oh, yeah.
Sue, would you mind inviting Julie to?
We sought funding from Department of State, we're successful, so we have, about $750,000, including bonding, to do 2 things. One is demolish the buildings on site, and the other is to build it into a public access location. And what that will look like is still to be determined. I have a project advisory committee, that will be helping to define that, including the local neighbors, a representative from the children's home, a number of people that are involved in access on the waterfront. In order to apply for the grant, which again, we were successful with, I worked with engineering, we put together a conceptual design, which looks like this, and that might be in there also. If you need to share, I don't know if you would share that, but anyway, it looks like this. It's called, it's not in your files, it's probably called. I don't know what. Can't remember what it's called. If you go to the files part, maybe it's in there.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and I'm only seeing the deed, property record card.
Okay.
I don't see any.
Well, I'll hold it up. This is conceptual only, so we might end up doing nothing. But if we do something, it could look like this, which would be using the same current entrance, but improving it. Building we would grade up out of the floodplain, a 5-car parking spot with a wood boardwalk out to the water's edge, which may or may not then have kayak access. We have removed 3 trees so far with approvals from the tree commission. And I have a request for, I'm working currently with the building department to determine whether or not it's safe to actually enter into the buildings. If it is so, we'll be doing a hazardous materials survey to see about the presence of asbestos and lead and other hazardous materials. If it is not safe for us to enter the buildings, we will be assuming that there is the presence of asbestos. We're already assuming the presence of lead based on the age of the buildings, which is the late 1800s. That will then determine what remediation I need to do either prior to demolition or the way that we actually process it with demolition. Once demolition is complete, then we will have a blank slate to which the product advisory committee will evaluate the site to determine the next steps, which would be constructing something or nothing, depending on what the group is looking at. And then I will go out to bid for construction contractors to build something on site. Engineering will be doing the design. At the time of the application, which was in 2023, they thought it was not very complicated. They're concurring that it's still not complicated, so I will not be going out to bid for design, just for construction. And it is in the LWRP area, which is why I'm sitting here.
So sheriff looking for another meeting?
Yeah.
Well, he said it's here, so I'm assuming it's
Okay.
another company, but I don't know for sure.
So I have the link, I'll log in and then I'll share some, existing conditions with you.
Now, are there any plans to tie this into the old rail bed there?
So the answer to that is will inherently, transect that rail bed. So City of Kingston owns that rail line.
And that's pretty intact going all the way around to the Kingston Point.
It's intact, it's fully overgrown, although we tried multiple times to try to make a rail trail out of it, but that was not successful. Too futile of an effort.
Cause that would be.
You have to let me be able to share.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna back out my.
So let's see, this should be addition.
Yeah.
Here. So, currently at 46. Take a minute. 46 has frontage on North Street and then in the back. Incidentally, it might be interesting to know that there used to be a street behind all of these houses, and that was their front yard on that side. Which is what I've been told by the neighbors. No, why it's not loading. Let's see here. Okay, so this is 46. So I said they're not uninhabited. Right, okay. I did walk in the door the other day. I probably shouldn't have. Yeah.
You can't help yourself. I used to do it.
It is disconnected from power, so, someone no longer has power to it.
Actually, going to houses once.
Oh, yeah.
This side. I can meet all the seats out.
I don't think that's easy to see how neat those properties are from where we are used to seeing them right on the street. That's pretty neat.
Okay, so anyway, this building, incidentally, it might be interesting to know that the building is attached to the road and the road is like attached to the wall. So removing the building will possibly involve securing the road wall. We will figure that out when we get there. All right, so now I will share 50, which is the other one. Completed seeker already on this property, but then. Yeah, one hundred environmental, I think this. This. All right, so this is 50. This is one I guess now. Since this time, this tree has been removed, it would have fallen on its own anyway. this tree and this multi-stem tree have been removed because we intend to bring in heavy equipment down on this road. At this time, I don't expect to be removing any other trees for demolition, and I don't want to move any other trees when we're done either. But we'll see based on the blank slate. This is the back of it. This is the shed also, which will be removed. Did not bust my way into this building.
Shed looks like it's in the best condition of all.
Yeah, shed's like good.
When it comes to like demolishing these types of structures, is there any like attempt to salvage any of it, or is it because the environmental aspect of lead and stuff like that just make it?
Say, Julie,
High tide.
Yeah.
is that tide or flood?
Okay, so a couple questions on the table here. One is, what is this happening here? This was a flooding event, which means it was a time when we didn't just have flooding on this site. We would have at this point and this particular day, which was, I believe, December. We also had flooding at Kingston Point and on the Strand, but you can see that repetitive loss like this is the reason why the building was condemned. This is not a simple high tide, but I will say that it's not going to be long before that would be what high tide looks like. So the grading of any new parking lot would have to be substantially higher, closer to the road, and then an elevated boardwalk, which would then go essentially up and over the causeway. And the question of salvage, there's the Julie Noble Sustainability Coordinator hat, and there's the Project Manager hat. The Sustainability Coordinator hat says we should deconstruct everything and pull everything apart, and we should source separate everything that we could possibly do. And then there's the Project Manager hat that says this building could be filled with asbestos and lead, and it's clearly likely filled with mold and lots of other gross things. That said, I don't even know if we can safely get in it. So right now, the determination is by the building department, if we are able to get into it and have a survey done. Maybe I mentioned this already, but we will then determine if there's asbestos, and then we will abate asbestos in advance of demolition. And then we will treat the demolition like a normal demolition.
Yeah.
If we are not able to safely get in it, which means I would also not be able to salvage anything really easily, then we are going to treat the entire process as though it has asbestos, which means I then need to process the entire contents of all the buildings as I would process any asbestos, which is a much different process. Either way, I'm not coming in with a wrecking ball and knocking things down. There's not going to be the hum of whatever in the air for the neighbors. And there will be public meetings in advance of this and notifications to the neighbors. But short, I did have this conversation with someone actually about trying to salvage, because of the age of the building.
Yeah.
There could be cool something.
There probably is, but honestly, it's, the likelihood of it being not safe is probably very high.
Yeah. So it's on my mind to be thinking of that and figuring it out, but it's not guaranteed. That's probably all on that.
Does Army Corps of Engineers get involved with this too?
Not unless I decide to build my dock. I didn't say dock. Not unless I decide to build my boardwalk over the water, which the current intent is not to go over the water. Because the permitting will change substantially if I'm on land versus if I'm over the water. So currently Army Corps is not involved. And I hope to probably keep it that way, but that would suggest that I'm probably not going to be putting a kayak dock in. Also, I'm pretty sure it's like total mud flat in the low tide, and I don't want to be one of those people who are like, come check out our kayak dock, and then half the day people are stuck in the river because I didn't tell them it was low tide. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with the site in terms of redevelopment, but we're not putting any more. The only structures that would possibly go there would be a parking lot. And some sort of boardwalk thing. And we took those signs. Good.
Much better than what it is.
Okay, so any other questions from the board?
No.
Do you want to start going through the coastal form? So the coastal form is on the website, portal. Pilot is bringing it up now.
Sue and I did go through and check as many not applicable boxes as we got appropriate, so that we could skip through. Maybe 75 of the.
We can go through this now.
Mm-hmm.
Planning board coastal consistency determination. 46-50 North Street, section block 56.36-32, excuse me, M33, Trans zone T4N-O, summary of review by policies. All right. See number one. Restore, revitalize, and redevelop deteriorating and underutilized waterfront areas for commercial and industrial, cultural, recreational, and other compatible uses.
So you have your choices: consistent, consistent with a modification, not applicable, or inconsistent.
Consistent.
Okay? Three?
Yeah. 1A, redevelop formerly industrialized and mined areas of the Hudson River.
Not applicable.
Oh, so we're not gonna go through those?
Yeah, when they say my name, you've already
Okay,
looked at them.
okay. 1B is promote replacement of existing uses which detract from the Roundup Creek waterfront and which discourage more appropriate development in this area.
Sorry, you need to see the.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me know when you're ready.
Okay. Consistent.
I agree.
Consistent?
Yes.
Agreed?
Yeah. 1C is restore and revitalize the predominantly residential character of the historic Wilbur and Pankaki neighborhoods.
Consistent.
I would say consistent.
Agreed.
Agree, everybody? Yeah, good. 1E is restore, revitalize, and redevelop the area between Kingston Point and East Strand along the Roundup Creek for commercial and recreational water-dependent and water-enhanced uses that will increase the public access to and public enjoyment of this area. Consistent?
Consistent.
Good, Chuck? Good. 2, facilitate the siting of water-dependent uses in facilities on or adjacent to coastal waters. Consistent?
Consistent.
Good? Good. Oh, we got. Right. 2A, develop new water-dependent uses along the Roundup Creek and Hudson River waterfronts.
Consistent.
Consistent.
Consistent. Okay, we're going to fish and wildlife policies. 7,
7.
I'll let you catch up here. Significant coastal fish and wildlife habitats as identified in the coastal area map shall be protected, preserved, and where practical, restored so as to maintain their viability as habitats.
Consistent.
7A, the Roundup Creek habitat shall be protected, preserved, and practical. As that should be as practical, or is that right?
It's probably should be, but that's a good reason and.
Restored so as to maintain its viability as a habitat.
Consistent.
Agreed.
Yeah,
7B,
Julie, you want to say something?
I would call that one NA. It's not on the rundown.
Oh, that's right. It is right on the Hudson.
but are other areas here?
Yeah, we left it because it was in the. But
The water body that it's on is the Hudson River, right?
So,
Yeah.
Okay. 8, I'm sorry, 7. Whatever, 7D. The locally important habitat at Kingston Point Park, also known as KE4, shall be protected, preserved, and where practicable, restored so as to maintain its viability as a habitat.
Consistent.
Do we
Consistent.
consider this part of Kingston Point Park too?
KE4 is the federal type of wetlands that it's
What
on.
it sits on.
Okay. Consistent. 8, protect fish and wildlife resources in the coastal area.
Consistent.
Good?
Consistent.
Oh, there was more verbiage there.
That's all right.
Okay. Design, expand recreational use of fish and wildlife resources in coastal areas by increasing access to existing resources, supplementing existing stocks, and developing new resources. Such efforts shall be made in a manner which ensures the protection of renewable fish and wildlife resources and considers other activities dependent on that.
Consistent.
Okay, 11 going to flooding and erosion hazard policies. Flooding and erosion hazards policies, buildings and other structures will be sited in the coastal areas so as to minimize damage to property and endangering of human lives caused by flooding and erosion.
Consistent.
Okay.
Julie, you're not having any like refuse or anything that's kind of carry in, carry out policy type of thing here, and no bathrooms and porta potties or any of that is gonna be.
Definitely no bathrooms. There may be garbage, and recycling containers, which would be consistent with every other park. We don't have any other parks that are carry in, carry out. I would be ideally carry in, carry out, but I don't think our community handles carry in, carry out very well. They don't. So there will probably be same Victor Stanley green and black containers that we have.
Okay.
If we make an improvement on the site where we would be intentionally bringing people there by vehicle, then we would probably put a garbage can. So then they would be monitored daily and every day.
Okay. 12, activities or development in the coastal area will be undertaken so as to minimize damage to natural resources and property from flooding and erosion by protecting natural protective features, including beaches, dunes, barrier islands, and bluffs. Primary dunes will be protected from all encroachments that could impair their natural protective capacity. Does the lagoon part of that fall under?
Well, it's
Because a dune is
you know, activity in the
It's a part of
coastal area,
wetland.
you're minimizing damage, so
Mhm.
I would say consistent.
Agreed.
okay. 13, the construction or reconstruction of erosion protection structures shall be undertaken only if they have reasonable probability of controlling erosion for at least 30 years as demonstrated in design and construction standards and or assured design, maintenance, or replacement programs.
Saying that in.
That's an NA?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna see any erosion protection. As a matter of fact, we're going to let the wetland continue to encroach into the space as it will continue to naturally migrate.
14, activities and development, including construction or reconstruction of erosion protection structures shall be undertaken so that there will be no measurable increase in erosion or flooding at the site of such activities or development at other locations. Is that an NA?
Yeah.
Sixteen. Public funds shall only be used for erosion protective structures where necessary to protect human life and new development which requires a location within or adjacent to an erosion hazard area to be able to function or existing development, and only where the public benefits outweigh the long-term and other costs, including the potential for increasing erosion and adverse effects on natural protective features. And 17, whenever possible, use non-structural measures to minimize damage to natural resources and property from flooding and erosion. Such measures shall include: 1, the setback of buildings and structures; 2, the planting of vegetation and installation of sand, fencing, and draining; 3, the reshaping of bluffs; and 4, the flood proofing of buildings or their elevation above the base flood level. The fact that we're putting in a elevated parking area, does this consider that a reshaping of bluffs? Is that, or no?
No, not close.
No, I wouldn't say.
All right, so we under an NA here?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Public access policies. 19, protect, maintain, and increase the levels of public access to public water-related recreation resources and facilities, so that these resources and facilities may be fully utilized by all the public in accordance with reasonably anticipated public recreation needs, and the protection of historic and natural resources. In providing such access, priority shall be given to public beaches, floating facilities, fishing areas, and waterfront parks.
That's consistent.
Consistent?
Yep.
20, access to publicly owned foreshore and to the lands immediately adjacent to the foreshore or the water's edge that are publicly owned shall be provided, and it should be provided in such a manner compatible with adjoining uses. Such land shall be retained in public ownership. Consistent?
Consistent.
20A, provide opportunities for continuous public access along the Rondout Creek waterfront from West Strand to Kingston Point and to the Hudson River from Kingston Point to the city line.
Consistent.
Okay. Recreation policies, 21. Water dependent and water enhanced recreation shall be encouraged and facilitated and shall be given priority over non-water related uses along the coast, provided it is consistent with the preservation and enhancement of other coastal resources. It takes into account the demand for such facilities. In facilitating such activities, priority shall be given to areas where the recreation opportunities of the coast can be provided by new or existing public transportation services, and to those areas where the use of the shore is severely restricted by existing development.
Consistent.
Consistent, right? Yeah. You agree? Yep. 21A, develop, expand, and improve existing public water dependent and enhanced recreation facilities along the Hudson River and Rondout Creek waterfronts. Consistent. Correct. Agree?
Agree.
21B, encourage development, expansion, and improvement of private water of private water dependent and water enhanced recreation facilities along the Hudson River and Rondout Creek waterfronts.
Consistent.
Is this is for private water dependent?
public.
This is public, right?
This is public, but I guess you could also look at, if you bring public to this facility, does it also encourage development of private along the waterfront? So I would say it's consistent.
Agree.
You're providing an opportunity that brings public that will spin on and have
Mhm.
other effects. So I think it's consistent.
Okay. I agree. 22, development, when located to the shore, shall provide for water-related recreation as a multiple use whenever such recreational use is appropriate in light of reasonably anticipated demand for such activities and the primary purpose of the development.
Not really development.
So, and I hear, agree?
Yeah.
Speak up, people.
Historic and scenic policies, 23, protect, enhance, and restore structures, district areas, or sites that are of significance in the history, architecture, archaeology, or culture of the state, its communities, or the nation. Consistent?
Yeah, I mean,
We're enhancing
You put a note in this one.
that have significant of the history.
Well, people can't visit it now, but they will be able to visit it if it's like this, so.
so I had put that comment in
Which one?
right there, although it's not an historic district. Nor being designated development of public access services enhance nearby historic resources.
So we're consistent. Agreed?
Yes.
Mary. 25, protect, restore, and enhance natural and man-made resources which are not identified as being of statewide significance, but which contribute to the scenic quality of the coastal area. Consistent.
Yeah, consistent.
Okay, good, great. 25A, protect, restore, and enhance scenic views or vistas of local importance, including view from Hazard Park and Kingston Point, Hazard Park, Kingston Point, Roundout 2 Lighthouse, Island Dock, and the Port Ewan Suspension Bridge. But I'm gonna say it's consistent, even, they just include areas that,
I agree, the surrounding, yeah.
25B is protect, preserve, and enhance the general visual quality of the Hudson River and Rondout Creek waterfronts. Consistent.
Meaning light.
Water and air resources policy. 30A, water courses in the atmosphere should be kept clean and pollution abated where it now exists.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
30B, sources of potable water supply.
That's not,
No. This is an NA?
Yeah.
Okay. 31, state coastal area policies and purposes of approved local waterfront revitalization programs will be considered while modifying water quality standards. However, those waters already overburdened with contaminants will be recognized as being a development constraint.
NA.
NA?
NA.
33, best management practices will be used to ensure the control of stormwater runoff and combined sewer overflows draining into coastal waters.
Yes, consistent would be.
Consistent?
Mhm.
Agree?
Yes, just on that,
What's that?
can I just ask you a little question? So with the structures like water and sewer lines, what happens to those when you guys knock the buildings down? Do they cap them or leave them in place?
Will be kept. There is a sewer, there is a storm sewer that goes to the location. All power has already been disconnected. And the water is gonna be, capped off before demolition.
All right. 37, Best management practices will be utilized to minimize the non-point discharge of excess nutrients, organics, and eroded soils into coastal waters. Consistent. 38. The quality and quantity of surface water and groundwater supplies will be conserved and protected, particularly where such waters constitute the primary or sole source of water supply. Does it say?
Yeah.
All right, 44, preserve and protect freshwater wetlands and preserve the benefits derived from these areas. Consistent.
Very consistent.
Where does the brackish end?
Poughkeepsie, but the salt line really moves. So there's actually some presence of salt here, and actually depending on how much rain we have, how dry it is, the salt line kind of tends to be down near Poughkeepsie, but it doesn't really ever get totally up here. So it's further south, but there is the presence of salt here, but it wouldn't be considered salt water.
Okay. Yeah, they're good.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping make it look better now.
Now, do a formal motion based on your review, the cost and assessment form and decisions that you made.
The city should move forward with the project.
Need to make consistent with the other.
But I second that. Okay, we have a motion and a second by Matt.
Who do you need permission?
I did.
Okay.
But the city would like to be explained.
No, that is consistent with me. You're making it like it's consistent.
So that can move forward. So that can move forward.
Yes. So.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Carried.
That was great.
The kayaking, how is it just gonna be limited to the lagoon? Because once you get out to that, it goes.
I don't know if we're going to do that for a couple of reasons. One, if it's very, very, very low tide, they're at low tide. So if you have not planned out your study, you're going to get stuck. The other concern is that's a 12-acre federally protected wetland that essentially all drains in and out under one very small bridge where the flow gets extremely concentrated. It's like, I don't want to send people knowingly who have just started to kayak for the first time into a wetland that may be dried up because they haven't figured out, and then under a dangerous bridge.
Yeah,
Okay. But a green space, awesome.
Bird watching.
Bird watching, yeah. Whatever.
all for it. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
We have one more.
No, we took them first. Yeah. That's good. We both,
We're going to go.
One more. I don't, wait, did you remember about the seeker? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got one more item. On the agenda.
So you may or may not be aware of the governor's budget, there are proposed changes to the secret regulations. The CAC has already initiated a review and has made some comments. I would like to have a few of the board members participate with staff to look at those and provide some recommendations back to the board. So we're looking at Andrew, who's already left, you, Clara, and Sage as our reps to look at that with us. That you would be three very good people to let me sit down and we'll send some information out to you and talk about it.
It's still kind of in the infancy stage, right?
Well, it's in the governor's budget. So there are some things that will affect Kingston and this board to, you to be aware of them and think about them and then make some recommendations back to the board.
Sure.
On
few of us. Okay, and that is it.
Okay.
So we'll be in touch.
Sure. Second the motion. Byron's got a motion to adjourn, with Matt on the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried. Thank you, everybody.